Hi guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. It is me, the Tsogofatso, and today I have a special guest. I have Peter here from Money Marks, and we're going to be chatting about his personal finance journey. So yeah guys, I really hope you enjoyed the video and find it helpful. Please do give it a thumbs up and subscribe to both of our channels. Comment down below if you have any questions, and let us get started. Started, can you just introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. So my name is Peter. I'm a veterinarian, but I also have a financial YouTube channel called Money Marks, where I kind of just share my journey as an entrepreneur and kind of where I started investing my own money and just sharing my experience with various topics in life, entrepreneurship, investing, and just lifestyle in general.
I really enjoy watching your content.
Thank you.
And yeah, like when you're sharing your journey to financial freedom, so can you just explain what that means to you?
Yeah, so financial freedom, I think it has different meanings for different people. Obviously you have the financial aspect, the numbers, which basically means that you save enough money to the point where you don't have to actively work a career anymore, where you have enough savings, where you draw down some income and then you basically just live off of that. It's kind of what retirement means at the age of 65. That was always the gold standard, was to work for 40 years, retire at 65, the golden years, and then just kind of relax and enjoy what you do. Yeah. But that has kind of changed with time. I think with the rise of the FIRE movement, the financial independence, retire early concept, where you work harder and save a lot of money when you're young so that you can retire earlier. Some people retire at 50, 40, even 30 years. So that, when I started reading books about the FIRE movement, it kind of inspired me to also try doing that, because let's be honest, when you get 65, you're quite old. Yeah. You're not going to enjoy, you're not going to go climb Table Mountain anymore. So that kind of concept of only waiting until then to enjoy life does not really make sense to me, so I want to do that before. But my opinion about financial freedom has also kind of changed from that stage. I don't think necessarily because most of the time, if you want to retire early, you have to live very frugally, and you need to kind of you have to try and only live on the bare essentials. So you miss out on a lot of stuff, and I don't think that's also a good idea, because if you're young in your 20s and 30s,
you're living life now, you also need to experience things now.
Exactly, it is. Yeah, we are in the prime time of our life, so we also need to enjoy life. So trying to find that balance, I think at the end of the day, currently what financial freedom to me means is having the opportunities, having many opportunities to decide how you want to live your life. So whether that is cutting down on your full-time job to pursue your passions, your side projects. I really like the flexibility of deciding how my week would look like, and to know when I want to take off and when I want to work. So yeah, that's what I'm working towards, is just trying to get a more flexible schedule in my career.
Okay, so I'm guessing that's what motivated you to get financial freedom.
Yes, I think because most of us will spend most of our time in our full-time job, and some of us enjoy it, some don't. I mean, work is work, you need to work, but having the flexibility to be able to kind of, do a bit of to follow other passions is definitely something that I resonate with and that I really enjoy doing.
Okay, no, that's really good. And as I mentioned, I really enjoy watching your videos and following your journey on your channel. So one of the videos you posted, I saw you managed to save 1.2 million rands in 7 years. And guys, if you want to watch the whole video, please do go there. I'll link it up in the cards down in the description. But can you just give us like a brief summary of how you managed to do that? I'm sure it comes with some sacrifices, budgeting, saving, investing.
Yeah, so the journey that we managed to save 1.2 million in about 7 years, that is the combined efforts of my wife and I when we started working. So I graduated in 2019 as a veterinarian, and she in 2018. So we kind of worked and invested our money for 7 years in total, amassing the 1.2 million. So I think from the very start, when we started our investment journey, as most of us, I didn't know much about finances. So I got a financial advisor. I knew I need to start saving and investing. That's kind of the basic knowledge that I had, but I didn't know how. So I got a financial advisor, opened a tax-free savings account, retirement account, and I knew that I can contribute 3,000 to a tax-free savings account, and then to an RA as much as you can up to the limit. So basically from that point onwards, we needed to decide how much we wanted to invest, and you know, you have your income and your expenses, and then you need to try and live below your means and then invest the difference. So I think the main things that helped us along the journey is we haven't bought a new car since we started working. So I sold my 2007 Peugeot 207 last year, which was about 15 years old, and now we only have one car which is also about 11 years old that we share. So I think that was a large expense that we managed to dodge. We did have some student debt that we paid off as soon as possible, trying to become debt free. I think that apart from the numbers perspective, just the psychological perspective
for that as well.
of not having that little nagging debit order going off. So we focused on that, and then we lived in a tiny apartment for the first 2 years that we worked, and then for the last year we traveled around a bit, and we mostly stay with family, so we're saving a lot of money on rent, which is a large expense. And then I think the biggest saving for us was structuring our finances to save as much taxes as possible, because if you look at your expenses, taxes is your biggest one. It gets deducted first, and it's most likely going to make the biggest dent. So I registered a company, and I started side hustles, and I'm channeling most of my money through that. And you know, with investments like tax-free savings accounts and retirement annuities, you are able to deduct with a retirement annuity, you're able to reduce your taxable income. So you get a tax refund. So there are many ways that you can reduce your taxes, and then that obviously frees up more cash that can go towards investments. Then apart from that, both of us, we are full-time veterinarians, so luckily we earn a decent salary that we try to invest about, I'd say between 25 and 35% of our income. We try to. Sometimes we get more, sometimes we get less. And then also started with side hustles. We've got the YouTube channel, a couple of freelancing work, and that's a very nice addition of income that gets funneled into our back into the business to grow it, to buy better equipment, but also to reinvest. And then obviously just the power of compound interest. The 1.2 million is not 1.2 million that we actually put in. It's a lot less, and then the growth on that is what's kind of helping to propel it. And leaving that for the next 20-30 years is going to have a wonderful effect, the whole compounding effect on the interest on an interest. So yeah, I'm excited to see. But I think that the most important thing was just to get into the habit of living below your means, saving the difference, and knowing where to save. Beginning, get a financial advisor, and then as you learn how to do it yourself, you can gravitate towards that. But learning the habit to live below your means and to save a difference, that's the most important part.
Okay, wow, that is so helpful. Like, I'm already taking so many notes and some things that I need to apply as well. But yeah, no, it's very interesting, and your journey is like, I think I've already said it 3 times, but guys, watch his content, you'll see what I'm talking about. Because I love how open you are when you're sharing your journey, sharing the numbers, your investments, everything. So I think there's a lot that we can benefit from, and yeah, I really think that's so great. And I heard that you mentioned a financial advisor. So you made use of a financial advisor. So what other resources have you found helpful along your journey? So like podcasts, if you can mention specific ones, or books, anything of that sort.
Yes, for sure. So in the beginning, I didn't know much. I got a financial advisor. With every industry, there are the good ones, the bad ones. They are very good financial advisors, and I would always advocate, if you're starting out, to get one, even if it's just to open up your investments and to start investing. You do need to be careful of the fees, because the fees can amount quite high, so that is something that you will have to educate yourself on to learn how it works and what the impact is. But I decided, let me get someone to help me, and then I started learning myself. So that's actually how I started my YouTube channel. The one day I went to MTN to open a data contract of 200 Rand a month, I believe. And they told me, no, you do not qualify because you don't have a credit score or a good credit score. And I was like, what's that? I don't know, what is this credit score? And then I actually learned that I need to take out credit to build a credit score. I thought I'm not taking out debt, so I'm a suitable candidate.
It's a very tricky situation.
Yes, that's not how it works. So unfortunately, I had to learn what is this credit score, and that's actually my first video. And then as I kind of tackled new topics, I decided, if I'm going to spend the time doing the research, might as well just package that and make a video, try and help everyone else. So the resources that I mainly use, the Just One Lab website has a podcast, the Fat Wallet podcast, which is very nice. It was hosted by Simon Brown and Christia van Heerden. It is a bit old. They haven't posted new podcasts in the last year or so, but there are still a lot of valuable content on that podcast, and it's nice to listen if you drive quite far. And that kind of gave me the basic of knowledge. And then the MoneyWeb website, the blog articles are very nice.
I think they also have a podcast.
Yes, they have.
I enjoy listening to that.
And then I've a couple of newsletter subscriptions that I follow, mostly with investment companies like Easy Equities, Luno, Revex, EasyCrypto.com, where they give weekly updates on the markets. And companies like Signia and 10x also have subscriptions, so then every month I'll get a monthly update on what's happening. So that's also nice to kind of just keep up to date with recent news and macroeconomics, but that's more later on. In the beginning, you just need to learn the basics, but most investment companies have very nice resources. Easy Equities has the Easy Equities Academy. Yes, that's very nice. It starts from the beginning. Then the Frank app also has a couple of nice blog articles that you can go through where they explain the basics. And then later on, there's many YouTube creators that create content, shares their journeys, and there are a couple of others that's also very nice to follow. So gaining the knowledge is not going to be like, you're not going to sit one day and just understand everything. You're not going to know what the ETF is, or what is a tax-free savings account, or what is taxes even sometimes. So you need to start somewhere, and in the beginning nothing is going to make sense, but the more you kind of read and repeat and read and repeat, later on you're going to incorporate your knowledge. I think having the interest of learning and having the passion and the drive to better understand financial literacy, I think 95% of problems in the world could be solved if people had proper financial literacy. But in order to gain that literacy, you have to have the interest and the passion, because school did not teach us, and nobody will. You're going to learn through mistakes most of the time, but it's better to learn before you make mistakes, and that's what we're trying to accomplish with our channels as well, to share our journey and our wins and our losses, so that you guys don't make the same mistakes. And it's nice to hopefully try and inspire others. And then there are a couple of nice books that you can read. I think a very good beginner's book to start with is the 7 Baby Steps from Dave Ramsey. It explains everything that you need to do when you start out, getting an emergency fund, paying off your debt, how you should start investing, just easy steps that you can start. I think that's a great way to work from that. And then there are a couple of other books that I can maybe drop in the comments, a couple of titles that I've read and found helpful.
All right, thank you so much for that. And I feel like you already shared so much helpful content, but just to wrap everything up, do you maybe have maybe one tip or a couple of tips that really stand out to you in your journey to building financial freedom, or your personal finance journey? Anything that really stands out that you'd like to share?
I think so. Sharing the journey, whether it is just by yourself, recording what you've done. So, in order to improve your finances, you need to know what is currently going on, and to do that you need to record all your expenses. You need to set up a budget. I know that sounds boring, but you need to do that. You need to get it can be fun. You need to put everything in front of you. Sometimes you get a shock. I did. If you see some categories, you're like, "Ooh, I eat way too much out, and too much McDonald's." But that's a reality that needs to knock you in the face, and you need to see, okay, this is what's going on. But then tracking your journey. I mean, even if you start with hundreds and thousands rands of debt, that is your starting point, and then every month that you start paying off, you can see your progress, and then eventually you'll be debt free, and then you start investing. Even if you start with 10 Rand a month, if 10 Rand is what you have, then that is a good, again,
also builds the habit.
Exactly, yes, that's the important thing, building the habit of living below your means, starting to invest. Next month it may be 20 Rand, maybe you take on a side hustle, maybe you do some extra hours, then it's 50 Rand, 100 Rand. If you look back 3 years from now, you know where you started, and that's what helped me to stay motivated, because I know, okay, this month I probably couldn't save anything, but at least the previous 3 months I was growing. And sometimes you hit a pothole and you fall and you're like back to square one. But knowing kind of where you started and building from that and sharing the journey, and platforms like YouTube and Instagram, TikTok, it's also nice if you are into the content creation space to share that, because that is also a nice way to build a connection with the audience and to inspire others to do the same.
And also helps keep you motivated when you have like a whole community.
Yeah, no, for sure.
But yeah, thank you so much for sharing all of that. It was so helpful. And guys, he has a whole YouTube channel. If you want to find out more, please do check it out. It'll be up in the cards, down in the description. Also share all of your links in the description. And thank you so much for joining me. And yeah, we're in Cape Town, guys, and it's so nice. The weather's good and I'm excited to be here. Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much, for having me. And yes, I'm hoping to see your channel grow and to see some of your audience in my community as well, and my audience in yours, and hopefully we'll help to build South African, to help improve the financial literacy in South Africa, and to kind of change the trajectory of the country as a whole.
Thank you so much. But yeah, guys, that is it for today, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.
Bye. Bye.